I'm a teacher at Lakes High School. I've been here for 3 years as a teacher, and prior to that, I was an athletic trainer.
Of all things.
I wanted to be a nurse like my mom because I thought it was cool, but then I found out what she had to do and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I played sports in high school, so I spent a lot of time in the athletic training room and saw what the athletic trainer did and thought that was really cool. So then I changed my plans to become an athletic trainer. I did. It was what I wanted to do. I loved helping people. I loved sports. Injuries were fascinating. So it's just something I've always known I wanted to be in medicine. Especially my mom encouraged me to do better than she ever did. And I just wanted to make her happy. And school always came easy for me. It wasn't that hard.
So there were never really any
No, I never wanted to be a teacher.
Really?
This was a change in career in midlife. Like all little kids do, they play teacher in their house with their dolls and set all their dolls up and then pretend to have school. But I never wanted to be a teacher. I hated talking in front of people, and I couldn't stand kids for a long time. I mean, I enjoy helping people, but I really enjoy when the light bulb comes on.
Mm-hmm.
Like when something finally clicks and the kids or the students, they go, oh, that makes sense. And then they find a way to relate it to their life or life in general. I mean, as cynical and obnoxious as I am, it really is about kids. What made me change?
Mm-hmm.
I think a friend of mine works at Pierce College. She invited me to guest lecture in her athletic training injury management class. And it kind of set things in motion for me where I figured, oh wow, this is kind of cool, I kind of like this. And then the high school decided to start a sports medicine program and wanted me to teach. So I said, okay, well I'll give it a shot, and went back to school to get my teaching certificate. The question should be, what college did I not go to? I went to California Lutheran University to get my bachelor's degree in sports medicine. After that, I went to Cal State Long Beach to work towards getting into their PT program. And when that didn't work out, after 2 years, I went to Cerritos College and got an associate's degree in physical therapy assisting. And then I worked for 10 years until I decided to become a teacher. And then I went back to Bates Technical College to get my teaching certificate. And then just last year I completed a master's degree from Concordia, Portland. I was horribly homesick, even though I was only an hour away from home. I was horribly homesick. Initially my roommate and I got along, but as the year went on and we made new friends and we started having issues, and I would have rather just gone home. But I, toughed it out and made the best of it, made new friends, and the living situation changed my next year, so it wasn't the end of the world.
Is there anything?
Everybody goes through tough times. I failed a final my junior year in college, but it wasn't the end of the world, but I wasn't happy. I mean, I was always one of those people that failure didn't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
I've always believed that you have to fail to succeed. That every success story has failure behind it. My senior year, I had a lot of issues with anxiety about graduating and what do I do now, and I broke up with a boyfriend that I'd been with for 2 years, and what do I do now? So then I sought out counseling and went to the health center. They had a counseling services there. No, because I knew I was going to go right back to school in the fall, because I was going to work towards a master's degree. And that kind of is another story, then it all fell apart, but I knew that I was going to go back to school, but I also knew I needed a job. So over the summer I found a part-time job working at a physical therapy office. And I worked there for 4 years until I got my PTA license.
Did you work
Yeah, a little bit. I had issues with depression and anxiety throughout college, so I had some from myself, but I think deep down I always knew that I was gonna finish it and I was just gonna work my tail off. But probably one of the bigger issues was my biological father managed to tell me several times that I wouldn't make it out to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, as hard as that was to deal with, I used it against him and became something. My mom and dad moved up here when I was 25. And I was engaged. So I didn't come up here with them, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. And when I filed for divorce, I said that's enough. And well, I really couldn't afford to stay in California by myself anyway.
Mhm.
And I wanted to be closer to my mom and dad, so I moved up here. The hardest thing I've ever had to deal with is my mom dying.
Mm-hmm.
And all my year-long classes were with me through the whole process. But you guys joined me at the semester, so you didn't get to see the beginning of it. Got a lot of support from students. I went to counseling, got a lot of support from my friends and my family and my coworkers. And surprisingly, the coworkers were a big support. Lots of people checked in on me and just kind of took care of me like I was family. So it's pretty cool. But everybody has tough times, and it's just kind of how you manage it. I've always been a big proponent of getting counseling when you're dealing with something you can't handle. So that was my route. Working towards my master's was a part-time deal, which didn't happen. Then I went to the community college for my PTA licensure, and that was considered part-time over 2 years, and classes were at night. But I never really, because I was already an athletic trainer, that stuff was so easy, I didn't really have to study that much. And it was fine. When I went to Bates Technical College, it was busy work. And I took one course a quarter. So it was really easy. It was the master's degree that was really hard. It was an all online course. It took a year, and I would have one course at a time for 5 weeks long. And I would go to work every day here, and then go home and sit at my computer for 3 hours and read and write, because that's all it was reading and writing. And responding to my classmates online. But it was read and write, read and write, read and write. My final project was a 20-page paper by the time I was done. For a year, that's it. So it was tedious. I didn't always get to go play on the weekends, because the weekends I still had course materials due. And there was no break between classes. So every 5 weeks, a class would finish, the next one started the next day. Because when I was in college, I thought I'd be married with kids by now. I thought I'd be married with kids before 30. I'm neither of those. I'm 39 and a half. No kids, not married. Didn't think I'd be a teacher. I'm a teacher. Never thought I'd leave California. I live in Washington. So yeah, I'm not anywhere where I thought I would be. But I'm not unhappy. Because everything I've gone through that's good or bad has led me to be who I am and where I am today.